kind of a list guy, so Wunderlist is my number 10 app. Wunderlist is very, very easy to make a list, little check boxes that you can, and some of this might be hard to see on the screen, but you can use the little brochure there you have. You can create a list, check it off. The great thing about this is you can share it with other people that have the app, okay? Now, all these apps are also free. They don't cost you anything. There's a couple of them, I'll go into some details on what might cost you something, but this is free. So, for example, on a personal use, my wife and I use this for the grocery list. So I share a list called groceries, and she has it on her phone, I have it on my phone, and anytime she adds something to it, it shows up immediately on my phone. So if I walk into Kroger, Publix, Walmart, wherever I go, I've got my list, I open it up, it's a live, up-to-date list of exactly what we need. So if we needed milk like an hour ago, my wife used the last of the milk and she put milk on there, it pops up immediately. I walk into the store, I get all the stuff, boom, 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 done, right? You can put all kinds of notes in there, you can add pictures. There's a whole bunch of things you can do to make it more robust, but that's the nutshell of how that works. Does that make sense? FOSCam is number 9. Now, this is one of those, the app is free, but obviously the cameras are not, okay? So this is what I use in my home. I will tell you, I don't use this in my professional world. The store that I have is secured by ADT, so they already have cameras and all that kind of stuff built in. There you go. So, but I use this as a nursery cam. So you'll see that a little picture of the nursery there. I've got 3 toddlers at home, 2 4-year-olds and a 2-year-old, right? I put them to bed, and I have to be able to see what the heck is going on in that room, because they're jumping up and down, they're making all kinds of noise, they're singing, they're dancing, there's a party going on. I've got to be able to see. But it also gives me visibility into my home. For $25 a year, not a month, a year, I have access to it from outside of my home. So these cameras work on your Wi-Fi router at home. So if you've got wireless internet at home, you can use these cameras, okay? For $25 a year, I pay so I can press a button on my phone, open that app, and I can see it from not on my Wi-Fi. So I can be here, I can click on it and see what my kids are doing right now. The cameras themselves, the indoor ones are like $69, the outdoor ones are like $89. So a lot of people use these for like that doorbell camera, where somebody, these days nobody answers the door. Like somebody knocks at your door, you're like, what the heck is going on? Who do I owe money to, or the police here, or whatever? Nobody answers the door anymore, right? So you can have that camera on your outside of your house looking down at your front porch to see who it is that's at your door. In your business, you can do the same thing. You can put a camera in every room, keep track of your employees, your inventory, things like that. So it has a lot of good uses. It doesn't have, like, you can record, like there's all kinds of stuff that you can record the video of what's going on in the room. You can take still camera shots and things like that. It'll store it in the cloud for you, but it's not like an ADT system where it's monitored. In other words, if somebody breaks into your house, no one's watching that for you to see if it's, to call the police. So I just want to make sure I clear that up, because I don't want anybody going home thinking that this is their security system. It's not monitored, it's monitored by you. And if somebody stole something from you and you knew it, you could go back to your camera system and look at the recorded video and maybe get a snapshot of that person, or see where that person came into the house. My favorite feature of this one, it's got infrared, so at night you can see. It's like the Navy SEALs, the night vision thing. When my kids are jumping up and down at night at bedtime, there's a function where I can talk to the camera through my phone. So I push the button and I say, lay down, or stop jumping, and they think it's God up in there. They're looking around like, and then they're like, Daddy, who was that? I'm like, I don't know. I guess God was telling you to lay down. I don't know. That's awesome. Number 8, and this one I get some mixed reviews. Slide dial. So you don't even have to have the app for this. The phone number is on there. You can just dial this number. Do you have anybody in your life, and please don't, I don't even know if she's recording this, so please don't say anything, because I don't want anybody in trouble. Do you have anybody in your life, though, that when they call you and leave a voicemail and you're supposed to call them back, you dread it because you're going to be on the phone for like 30 minutes, where you just don't want to talk to that person, but they're asking you for some info and you want to give them the info, maybe it's business related and you've got to call them back with a quote, but you're going to be on the phone for 10, 15, 30 minutes, or maybe it's mom or dad that you don't want to talk to for a long period of time, but you got to give them some information. Use Slide Out. As long as you're calling their cell phone, not their business phone, like not their 1-800 Walmart phone number or whatever. it goes right to their voicemail. It skips the ringing. They don't know that you called. All of a sudden, they just get a pop-up on their phone that says voicemail from Michelle. That's it. So it's a cool app. You don't even have to have the app on your phone, but if you do have the app on your phone, it uses your contacts and it makes it very easy to do it. Otherwise, you can just dial that number and follow these 3 steps right here. But you know, if you're running late for something and you just or you're standing in line at the airport security and you can't chat for a long time, slide out, takes it right to voicemail. You still get to respond to that person and you still get to leave them the information, but you don't have to spend all that time on the phone. Fair enough?
So I didn't have a caller ID that comes up or anything, right?
Nothing. It just goes straight to their voicemail. And that's why I said
I didn't even hear the phone ring.
Yeah. It doesn't show they received a call, they just get a notification.
it's almost like they went into a spot where they had no cell service. Have you ever done that? Like you're driving on the interstate and there's a certain spot where you get no coverage and then like 10 minutes later you're like,
Yeah, Spino. I like that better.
So, like I said, that one can be somewhat controversial. I don't really know. You use it how you want to use it. Number 7 is Evernote, and this kind of goes back into that whole mentality of my engineering brain. I love Evernote. There's a couple of, some people might already be using this. Anybody using Evernote in here? So, you know, if you're using it already, it is so powerful. And the main reason, the number 1 reason I'll tell you why, is it has a search function built in. So you can use notes and put things in your phone. So for example, I don't know about you, I've got like 8,000 photos on my phone. And I go to that family function and I want to show my parents the picture of the kids and it's from 3 years ago and I mean, I'm going to flip through all those, it takes forever, you can never find it. You're always in a hurry or whatever it is. With this, you can take that photo, press a button, and it gives you the chance to put my favorite photo as the caption on the photo, or whatever it is. Evernote is the name. But ultimately, you can put anything you want into the search box. So the next time you're there with your friends or family or whatever, you can search, or you can type up in the search box, my puppy or my, you know, that one picture from my honeymoon or whatever it is, and it immediately finds it for you. You don't have to use, you know, your finger to flip through everything. Same thing with text, same thing with PDFs, all that kind of stuff. The cool thing about it, if you import a PDF file or a document or an email into Evernote, it actually creates and takes all the text on the PDF and converts it.
No.
And
Scott, do you know what you want to eat?
Yes, the dip, the French dip, please. Yes, go ahead.
Does it work as a PDF converter?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, I mean, it converts it for Evernote. You can't then, it doesn't really help you too much with, you know, being able to share it with other people as a converted thing. But we can talk later because there's other stuff that's free out there. And if you have an Apple product that actually converts it for you, it's already built into your computer if you do it that way. But Evernote is very powerful. You can record video, voice as well. So you have the feature on your phone where maybe you come here and you have a whole bunch of notes that you want to take. When you're done with this, snap pictures of all the slides or all the people that the business cards and things like that, and you can type notes, or you can even just record into it and say, hey, I've got to call Cromer on Tuesday, remind him about the thing we talked about and whatever else, and it's all in there. And then you can drive home or drive back to your business, and you're good to go, and you just pull up your notes from the meeting. It stamps the date, it stamps the, if you have, like for example, on my calendar, I show that I'm coming to Laurie's event, the Nashville Networking Luncheon, right? If I open up and make a new note in Evernote, it tracks that that's where I was, which will help probably jog my memory that that's where I met Cromer and I need to give him a call and that kind of thing. So it even uses your calendar to keep track of what you were doing when you made that note. Number 6, great if you, especially for homeowners, this is fantastic. If you're looking for a service or you provide a service, Thumbtack is a great way to get quotes. So, for example, I'm in the iPhone, iPad, and computer repair business as much as I also have a showroom, right? So, if somebody needs to get their iPhone fixed, they'll send me a request through Thumbtack. I'm registered as a person that repairs phones, iPads, and computers, and I have all different categories that I'm registered for, right? And if somebody near me is looking to have any of those services done, I get an email that says, you know, Michelle's looking to get her iPhone fixed. You know, it tells me iPhone 6 and da 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 da. And I've got 24 hours to get back to Michelle with a quote. So it's almost like an RFQ for anybody out there that want, or RFP, request for quote, proposal, whatever. So the person that requests the service in the next 24 hours is going to get up to 5 quotes from professional people that do that for a living. The main, how many of you, when you want to get your room painted in your house, you have to call 25 people and 10 of them call you back and 8 of them actually give you a quote, 5 of them make an appointment, 3 of them show up, and 1, by the time it's all said and done, you've got 1 person that is actually gonna maybe, hopefully show up and paint your house, right? With this, I have to pay if to give Michelle a quote. So you kind of got some skin in the game, and it's gonna cost me about $3 to send Michelle an email saying, this is how much it will cost to fix your iPhone 6. But I've paid $3. I know you're interested. You're exactly in the market of people that I'm looking for, so it's a perfect lead for me. I have no problem paying $3 for a lead, right? I mean, we spend thousands in marketing trying to get leads all day. So it's great. Now, if you provide a service, you can see where that goes, right? Now, Cromer, your attic barrier insulation,
I use thumbtack.
There you go. So
got 2 leads yesterday.
there you go. You got 2 leads yesterday. I get about 6 a day. Only, all different kinds of stuff because we do phones and whatever else. So it's different based on your business. But if you teach music lessons, if you cut grass, you can restrict it to only certain zip codes. Maybe you're willing to cut some grass around your neighborhood on the weekends for some spare cash. Whatever it is, there's a lot of different things you can use.
And how much does it cost to?
It doesn't cost anything to register. It just you have to buy credits, so you have to have little coins or credits to. You probably want to put about $10 or $15 into your bank so that when something comes through, you can quote on it. If not, you're just going to have to charge your credit card like $3 every time you do it. You have to go through I put like $25 into my little tank every so many days, and that way I can build up credits.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Is it similar to the Tackle app that I see advertised on TV here recently?
I don't watch a lot of TV. I have to be honest with you, so I don't know.
I've seen it
I've been
advertised.
promoted in Nashville, like for getting service.
There you go.
Services
It sounds like it would be.
same similar kind.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very easy concept. You're just sharing leads back and forth, and Thumbtack is spending the money online to try to get people to use that. So they're taking my $3 and your $3 and your $3 and adding it all up, and probably paying for a bunch of Google AdWords or a lot of different SEO to try to get people to go that direction.
I'm just trying to figure out how you get 10 out of 20 contractors to call you back. That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's much lower number. You're right. So this one's moving up the list fast, and you're going to see more about it later. And I always tell Laurie I was a skeptic at first, and I was like, I don't really need this. Nobody reads cards anymore. But ironically, we've come full circle, right? First, all we ever did was mail, right? Then email comes along, and you get mail and you just throw it away. You're like, forget it, nobody's mailing me stuff. And because email came along. But now we get, like, I don't know about you, I get about 100 a day of emails that I don't want to read, right? So now I delete every email unless I know who you are, and the subject says something or whatever. So now it's come full circle. Now when you get a card in the mail, you're like, holy crap, who mailed me a card? Like, who took the time to do that? So I was not impressed with it, and I met with a guy, and he mailed me a card like 4 or 5 days later. I didn't even do business with him. He still mailed me a card, and it had like a picture of my marketing material on it and all kinds of stuff. I was like, I'm sold. I called Laurie immediately and was like, what do I need to do to get this going? I didn't even do business with this guy, and I still haven't to this day. My testimony to this whole thing is I never did business with John Sharp, where he introduced me to this, and now I've got a birthday club. I've got a thank you for referring business to me, thank you for buying from me. I have all kinds of stuff. I learn something new almost weekly about how I can use these cards. But the cool thing about it is you can send it right from your phone. There's an app on your phone, so like, and I know you're recording, I'm gonna get in trouble, but my wife, my wife's love language is words of affirmation. So I send cards from my phone because a text message is one thing, and I can copy and paste a picture from Google and whatever. But if I like take a minute while I'm sitting in my car waiting for something or whatever, I can type up, make a card, and press the button, and it prints it, puts it in an envelope, puts the stamp on it, and mails it for me. And like 3 or 4 days later, she gets a card from me. Hey, I was in the car thinking about you today, or hey, whatever. So, pardon me? It's like $1 per card. So it's actually about the same. Those little 99-cent cards when you go to Walmart or the grocery store, they have the 99-cent cards and stuff. It's about $1 per card. And for me, I don't have the time to write them out. My handwriting's sloppy anyway. You probably can't even get it. It's just a bunch of scribble. So from my perspective, I love anything electronic. I don't even like to, I type everything. I use Siri for all. I'm constantly holding my phone like this and talking into it to do all the stuff. So this thing has just revolutionized the way that I not only communicate with my family, but Christmas is coming up. So I'm going to send my Christmas cards out that way for my business and for my personal life. But the customer relationship part of it is phenomenal. And every networking function, everything I do in the community, I always run into at least one person that got a card from me within the last week. Happy birthday, happy anniversary, thank you for your business, thank you for the referral. It was nice to meet you. I have about 7 or 8 different campaigns. They all, everywhere I go, I get at least one person. Thank you so much. I got that card from you, and let's get together for lunch, or let's do this, or I need to come by your shop, or whatever it is. So, fantastic. Pick resize. How many have ever tried to use a photo on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram? Maybe your marketing person said, hey, send me a photo, and you get the dreaded email or the red X that says wrong size, wrong pixels, not high quality. It's going to look bad when we print it, all this other stuff, right? Pick resize is your answer. So there's an app for it, but you can also just go to pickresize.com and you upload your picture here. You choose all the stuff that you need here, the size, the pixels, the whatever, and then it spits out your image that you need to then send over to your marketing person. Saves you a ton of time. Gets that, because I get a headache. Like when that, how like the Facebook has that really long, skinny one for the top, and then there's this short one over here, and something doesn't match, or if you put it up there, like it cuts off half the photo or half the words on your ad or whatever it is. Awesome. Saves me so much time and effort. Number 3, scannable. It's part of the Evernote family. You'll notice they tie in together. It actually used to be part of Evernote. So the whole thing with scannable is you don't need a scanner anymore. You can throw away the BizHub or the desktop little machine you have that you scan things with. Your phone is now, the camera on your phone is better quality than any of those machines will ever be. They can't possibly keep up with what Apple, Samsung, and all those companies are doing with the phone. So you've got a more powerful scanner in your hand than you could ever spend buying a machine for. So use it, right? So you can scan in anything. It saves it as a file. You can email it to yourself, all that good stuff. But my favorite is for something like this with a networking event. And you talk about Laurie saying, sometimes there's 45 people with some of these things, right? And we go to the chamber in Mount Juliet here, and there'll be like 30, 40, 50 people in the room. And you go out of there with a stack of business cards, or in the chamber, since they email you a bunch of business cards and whatever else. I use Scannable, and I take a photo of each business card, and in about 10 seconds, it imports all of their contact information, and then it even goes a step further. If that person is on LinkedIn, it finds their profile, and you push a little button that says connect, and it invites me to connect with you on LinkedIn. And then you press a button and it says save to contacts, which will save it into your phone, and now you've got all that person's information. Done. Piece of cake.
So it extracts the information from the card?
Correct. It takes a picture of the business card, and then it reads all their email address, their phone number, their address, their website, their whatever else, and it finds you on LinkedIn if you have a profile.
Can you, I have a CRM system.
Mm-hmm.
How do I utilize that?
Yeah, so
I see so many of these things, and everyone says they watch me collect all my business cards, and I watch people scan them, and I'm like, it doesn't work for me because I don't want the contacts in my phone. I want them in our system.
So we can talk separately. It doesn't interact right now with your system, but you can now it's in your contacts, which I could show you how to export it into a Microsoft Excel file and then import it. Yeah, it's super easy. You've got the data in your phone, and if you have an iPhone, you've got it in iCloud.
I do.
So you could go to iCloud.com, log in. You've got your contacts. You export them into Excel, and then or I use Numbers because I'm an Apple guy. But most people have Excel.
I use Numbers.
Okay, there you go. So you export it into Numbers, and then you import it into your CRM, and you've got all your.
I'm gonna make one.
Linda, he's my Mac guy that I told you about.
I know. I've been in the store.
So, had anybody track their mileage for business or personal use? If you don't know, if you do any volunteer work, you can write off the mileage that you drive for volunteer work off of your taxes as well, right? So if you I go to Rotary Club, I go to Kiwanis Club, I go to a bunch of different things. That mileage is deductible on your taxes. Only if you itemize. If you're not itemizing, you're wasting your time, right? But especially if you're a business owner or work for a business that tracks mileage, it's a pain in the rear end, right? Not with this thing. Not like you. Love it. Now I have to caveat. You get 25 drives for free, and then you have to pay per month. And it's a hefty monthly. It's $4.99 a month, so it's $5 a month, right? But for me, it's worth every single penny, and that's this thing. You set it up one time, and it uses the GPS in your phone, and it knows that when you left your house and drove somewhere, it's smart enough to know, and it tracks the exact coordinates of where you left and the exact coordinates of where you went. And it does that all day long, every time you get in your car. Like I came here today, it tracked my mileage exactly from the store. Like it shows me on the map where I left, and it shows me on the map where Jonathan's is, right? And then what you do is you sit down, and it's going to look like this, right? When you at the end of the week, the month, the year, whatever you want to do, right? And you swipe it to the left if it was personal, and you swipe it to the right if it was professional or business related. And it gives you all kinds of categories. If you have multiple businesses and you need to do separate stuff, I mean, it can get really robust and powerful if you want to. And my favorite thing is there's a couple new features. It starts to remember. So you can go in now and edit that little dot right there. If that's like I have, that's my store, right? So I go in and put experiment, so that every time it pops up, I know that was probably a business-related drive because I left Experiment and I went somewhere else, right? It also remembers, it like recognizes repeat drives. So if you go to church every Sunday and it's same time and same place, whenever else, you can have it just automatically put that as personal use. Unless you're in the choir and you're volunteering your time and you want to write that off. Exactly. Teach Sunday school. If you come to
is this 25 drives a month?
So it's free 25 a month, and then you have to pay $5 a month for.
But it tracks every time you get in the car.
Every single day.
There's no way to set it just to track it when you go into work.
No.
I mean,
but it would eventually know your commute, and you could call it my daily commute, or you could say from home to work, and then just automatically convert that into a business or a personal drive.
Right.
Does that make sense?
And do you have to turn it on and off? Like, can you turn it off?
Once it's on, it doesn't use up your battery. And like I know people are like, oh, if it's using my GPS, it doesn't. I use it. It runs all day, every day, and I charge my battery one time a day. I wake up in the morning, it's fully charged, and I go to bed, and I've got about 12% left, and I'm good for the day. Okay. So it's not something that's going to drain your battery or put you in a position where you're going to constantly be plugging in and whatever else. Unless you're driving, I guess, all day, every day. But even then, I mean, there's times where I'll drive, a couple of hours a day, and it doesn't drain my battery. Okay. That's a fun one to use. And then the last one is the most fun app that you can possibly find, Fiverr.com. Anybody use Fiverr.com? Okay, so let me tell you, you can have more fun with this app and the services that are available. You can even make some money doing stuff on Fiverr if you get creative. But the reason it's called Fiverr is because everything on there is $5 for the most part. Some might be 10, whatever it is. The slideshow that you just saw, I had somebody make for $5. This PowerPoint, or it's actually a keynote presentation, right? One of my favorites, so they do, this is fantastic for graphic design, marketing, anything visual, because like for example, my daughters, I have 2 daughters that are Taylor Swift fans, right? And for Christmas last year, I sent Fiverr a picture of me and my wife where I was at an event and I had my arm around my wife, and then I sent a picture of Taylor Swift. And then this guy combined them, and it looks like I have my arm around Taylor Swift, right? and he
didn't take your wife off of it, did
he sent me the thing, I printed it, I stuck it in a frame, and I gave it to him for Christmas, a picture of me and Taylor Swift, right? They talk about it every year, they talk about it, it's on their shelf in their room, it's funny, it's a joke, but it cost me $5. And I got a lot of, and I spent $1 at the dollar store in a frame, and I printed it on my own printer because it doesn't matter how quality it is. So for $5 plus $2 frames, so $7, I got a Christmas present in my daughter's room that'll probably be there for the next 15 years, right? They do graphic design, they'll make flyers for you. Almost every flyer I have is made by somebody on Fiverr. Now, you can't, another one I used here in Mount Juliet was personal assistant. So they'll do personal assistant stuff for they'll do 3 hours worth of personal assistant work for $5. Now they can't do your dry cleaning because they're not here, right? They're in other countries. So people are like, well, how in the world can they do this stuff for $5? Most people are in other countries where $5 is like a month's worth of pay. A lot of countries people live off of 30 cents a day or 10 cents a day. But they have these Photoshop skills, they have graphic design skills, all kinds of stuff. So you pay somebody in another country and they deliver. So they can't deliver like food to you and things, right? They're going to email it to you. So think of anything you can get by email, and you can probably get it done in Fiverr. For example, if you have your logo, like there's guys that will jump out of an airplane, they do the skydiving thing, and they'll hold your logo. And then they probably just drop it and hold another one, and they drop it and hold another one. And they probably make a couple $100 every time they go up, skydiving. And that pays for their airplane or their fuel or their whatever. They'll write your name in or your business name in sand and have the waves and all this other stuff. I mean, it's amazing what you can have done. They'll do your LinkedIn profile. They'll get you Facebook likes. They'll help you with Instagram. They'll do all kinds of stuff that is just, from a business perspective, you can have fun with it on a personal side. From a business perspective, you got to look at how much do you consider yourself worth per hour. And you've got to come up with that dollar amount. And let's just say it's $25 an hour is what you're worth, okay? If you can pay somebody else $5 to do it, why wouldn't you do that? If I can pay, when I first started, I've been in business for a year now, and when I first came to Mount Juliet, I paid somebody $5 to go on Google and make me a spreadsheet of all the businesses, churches, and schools in Mount Juliet. And I didn't have to do any of that. It was 3 hours. And they emailed me a spreadsheet in like 2 days, and it had every business, all their phone number, their email address, their website, and their mailing address. And it saved me from having to go do all that work, which I can easily do. Any of us can do it, right? We can just spend all day copying and pasting stuff, or pay somebody $5 to do it for 3 hours and get a spreadsheet back in 2 days. That's all I got. That's the top 10. Anybody have any?